Um, I'm kind of jittery over here. I want to see this get started. I
Yeah.
want to get right into it. I have a good feel. I wouldn't be surprised if this went all, maybe, I was going to say all 5 maps, maybe to 4, but it is a best of 5, so Endpoint have that advantage, and they're doing picks and bans now. Invasion goes out first. No one's
Yeah.
surprised about that, right?
Obviously, both of these teams haven't practiced much. I know for a fact London haven't even touched it because there was talks that it would not be here today. Of course, we got here and then Invasion's on their plateau, which is not what you want as a team when you like, okay, we know Invasion's not going to be there, so we're not going to practice, and then you turn up and it's like, oh, Invasion's here?
Yeah. Yeah, it's, you know. I think with some tweaking, or maybe if teams keep playing it, maybe they'll, or maybe if no one else is playing it and you're the team that does, you leave it in the map pool and don't ban it, gives you an advantage. Be one of those guys.
But London, obviously, they come in at this final, so they get to ban first,
Right.
so they can get rid of their weakest link, obviously, because they know that Endpoint have practiced it slightly. The fact that Endpoint have practiced it slightly, that gives them an extra advantage, which they do not want them to have, and they're more comfortable on all the other maps. I know that they practice a lot on Vanguard, on Derailed, for example. You already seen them beat them on Derailed, and I have some good intel that they want to play Mana against Endpoint again.
I was going to ask you that. if it works the first time, do you go back to it? It was a pretty close match. They did win, but they feel good enough, or they feel like they can do it again?
Well, they didn't beat Endpoint on Mana. They lost.
Oh, I thought you said Derailed. I'm sorry.
On Derailed, obviously, they want to play Derailed, but they want to play Mana.
Oh.
Which is the surprising thing to me. I was like, you sure about that, Slatan?
Yeah.
And he was like, yep. So that'll be interesting to see what happens there, to see if they learned from what you said. Because I know for a fact that they did watch the VODs.
Yeah.
So maybe they saw something which will help them win.
Yeah, hopefully. And you were saying Zlatan's one of the smarter players in the scene. You're saying up there is maybe one of the smartest. And I guess if you can identify those issues and see what Endpoint was doing, you can kind of take it to them and stop them before they get going.
Exactly, and it'll be interesting to see what maps we do see. And like I said, they want to play Mana. Endpoint, a very good Mana team, and if they do able to dethrone them on Mana, that'll help them further on other maps. For example, like on Derailed, obviously they've already beat them on Derailed. They probably can beat them again on it, and maybe we'll see a Vanguard.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I'd love to see a Vanguard. Do you know if there's any weak spots for Endpoint? In maps?
The thing. There isn't really many weak spots because they like to play the outlier maps a lot. And of course, they're going to be solid on the default maps like Coastal and Liberation.
Right.
But they practice like the maps like Vanguard and Invasion and even Derailed, which is like sort of on the outskirts, a lot. Which makes them such a threatening team when it comes to best of threes, because then they'll pick that against you when you know you're weak, because they'll have to ban like when be a strong map like a Coastal or Liberation against Endpoint. So that's why Endpoint has succeeded so much in these past events. It'll be interesting to see if London can maybe catch them off on those maps.
Yeah,
exactly.
and maybe that's exactly what they need to do. Take it to them on Manor, the map that they lost on last night, and kind of come out with a bang and get it going. It's I was going to ask, is the Endpoint's got 2 maps they need to win, and then on the other end, London Esports needs to win 3. How do you deal with that?
The way you mostly deal with it is just you don't think of the numbers. You just think of map by map. Like, okay, first map, we'll have to win this. Second map, we'll have to win this. That's the only way you can think about it. It's the same thing when you're down by 10 rounds. You don't think about the deficit. You think of round by round.
Right.
If you think about the deficit, you're just going to have that in the back of your mind.
Right. I guess if you're thinking about the whole best of 5 and you got, all right, we got 2 more games, all right, you got 1 more game, but if you just take it round by round, then it'll be a little bit more digestible or doable for London Esports. And it's a good showing for them, and I'm really excited to see how the competition kicks up. Obviously, I said there's a tournament after, some teams sticking around, even probably going to be a higher level of competition at that one.
Yeah, I definitely hope there's going to be higher level competition in that one, because I hope there's more teams attending that one as well, so we'll get to see a more variety, because that's the main thing, right? We want to see a variety of teams, because like we want to see the low end, we also want to see the high end, obviously, and have such competitiveness from that.
Yeah, and if anything's a takeaway from this tournament, it's that if you get a group of 5 guys and you play for the next month, maybe you can be like Leisure and take a top 3 finish. Or it's just it's hard to get a team together and start playing, but once you do it and just put your head down, it's definitely something that's attainable. Are there many good players out there in the EU scene that are free agents or that could put the team together that you know of?
Well, there's loads of players that are free agents in the battalion scene, even in NA. There's a few. EU, maybe one of the most noticeable is actually Climax. Obviously, he's a face of battalion with streaming, partnered now. He's having a great time over there, but
and he's not able to make it out.
He's not in the team at the moment. He was obviously in Moose, which disbanded, which had Lincoln in it. Trying to think who else from the top of my head, because it was a while ago that they disbanded. But there was Sam as well, who was on CRGE full time. He's a very, very talented guy. Quite young still as well, so he has that growth which these more experienced players have.
I'm excited. I'm hoping that we can get a bunch of teams for both of those tournaments. And just bringing it back to the series that's at hand, yesterday we saw a lot of team performances coming out for London Esports. We didn't see anyone really taking off. Is that something that for sure needs to happen? Can they just put their head down and play their game, or does someone need to step up and kind of take that position?
Well, everyone needs to step on London. That's their winning formula. And the main person which you want to see step up massively is Max Strafe. He's the one which can control the server a lot more, and that's what was missing yesterday against Endpoint. You saw him at the low end of the scoreboard. He just couldn't get anything done. His timings wasn't exactly right. Even though his aim was fine, it was just like his timings. And if he can get that sorted against this Endpoint lineup, London could actually pull this off.
Yeah, and then on the other end of things, it's the same Endpoint, guys. There's not too much to talk about. You can go watch all the other tournaments. It's going to be pretty similar across the board for just, I don't know. Has their playstyle always been like this? Is it just kind of you go in, they just keep winning map after map, and what do you know they want to get? It's another win?
Pretty much. They just like to dominate the maps mostly, and the way they do it is just like managing their economy. Well, they've always managed it since Budapest, and they just like play really solid. They don't play too high risk, and then you have players which can just step up massively at LAN, like Replan, for example. We've seen him hit so many shots yesterday. He's just insane, and it's very hard for them to stop. And as you can see, Endpoint actually won the knife for Fito, I believe. Wait, is that Fito? I don't know.
Not sure.
Oh, London picks Derailed, actually.
Oh, okay.
So the Fito's already done.
Okay, so they are going Derailed. They're confident in how they played before, and they're just going to repick it. And we're maybe going to keep going and just jump right into this series and see what we can do. Not sure what's going on in this round quite yet. Now I do. Looks like it's going to be a hit, and welcome to the grand finals. Here we go. Yeah,
finally, and we get to see Derailed. Obviously, London feels more confident on this map. They already beat Endpoint, so they've proven. I expect Mark here. I don't think they will, as Mark does get a few tags out, but he just can't seem to get that frag that he definitely needs.
Yeah, needed to find at least one of those headshots there to stop them from coming through. Max Strafe pulling up the back and finds Reflexer. So Bomb is now down. London Esports in a good position. They need to retake here on Endpoint.
Yeah, and if they're careful enough and just hold these angles, make sure that Endpoint can't get a step, they'll definitely be able to do that. But Replan taking down Max, it's going to make things difficult.
Trying to find angles here. Replan shoulder peeking and does find one. Is traded out and does find the kill. Meanwhile, Mark kills Azuma. Now only two players left, being Deleter and Daxton. Deleter all alone needs to find both of these kills. 20 seconds left, so a bit of time for Endpoint to work with. The bomb is tapped, and they still don't see him. He should be able to get both of these kills, at least does some damage, and there's a team kill. Fake gets Replan, and now Deleter in a 1v1. Only 8 seconds left. He tries to push him, gets the kill, but there's not going to be enough time left. Oh, the team kill hurts, and London Esports come out strong with the first round.
Yeah, very strong. They came in, Max gained that opening frag, and that was way after they actually got control of the site with the smokes and with just the rush. Like you saw Mark unable to get the frag when they initially came in, and then Fake killing his own teammate in a 2 versus 1, and then no time.
That's a bit rough.
It's hard to see. It's hard to see.
The first game jitters maybe still flowing a little bit. London's got to be happy with that on the Allies side here, taking the first round, and maybe we'll see them start to take away with it. They threw the nade down mid on Endpoint, and then looks like they may try to push through it.
Suma unable to get that frag onto Fake, as he does have a Thompson, and he was very good with the Thompson yesterday on this map. Let's see if we can bring that forward.
Replan trying to spray through the smoke there. Bomb is down once again, so Endpoint find themselves in a 4v5 retake. It was a bit of a save. Dax in here holding down the couch area as they try to flank. Reflexer gets the first kill, picks up the carbine, and will go up top, but the leader in this good spot. You never really want to check it. Should be good for at least one kill there. Meanwhile, Azuma gets the Thompson, sprays the first and can't find the second. Takes Fake very low, and on the other end, Cinda finds his frag. So the leader just staying alive up here as the time is ticking down. 25 seconds as Latin is upper. Endpoint still have 3 left. Reflector's getting taken fairly low, and the leader not quite going down. Just going to stay prone here as it looks like he's sticking the bomb. Zlatan doesn't know where it's planted. He should be able to get this defuse. And he does! Axis get their round, and Endpoint's got to be happy about that. And Eco and Cinda able to just kind of stand in that smoke. Maybe some miscommunication as to where it was planted, as Zlatan was not able to get him through the smoke.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. You saw London maybe taking a lot of control there. They gained the frags that they needed and would gain down to a 2 versus 1, but they just couldn't find the defuse in the smoke. And that is always the risk that you play when you have a guy defusing inside smoke. Even though you know where the bomb is, it's just finding that exact angle that the player is defusing.
And now it looks like, I was going to say it looks like they're going to do A, but they're just kind of splitting, showing some pressure over here towards B. And this is kind of the meta of what we've seen. Send 2 players over to a site together to make some noise, and Max Strafe wins the gunfight. Stays alive for just long enough here. Fake not with a good angle, and Max Strafe able to make it out alive. So a good opening pick, and kind of just showing some presence over towards B, as it looks like they're trying to run out onto site A. And I think Cinda's going to be a little late to get there. Mark wasn't able to find any of those kills, so they are on site. The bomb is now going down. He's going to try to strafe through and wall bang, or at least get the bomb from planting, but it will go down, and London Esports going to try to exit off site, not going to opt to play that double back church spot as we saw yesterday. Probably a good decision. Replan getting up top, a pretty good off angle here, but I don't think London's going to show anything.
No, that's exactly what they don't want to do. They don't want to show themselves. They just want to Endpoint to push them and then get the frags, like have those 2 versus 1 duels as much as possible, which they are doing the buddy sword system. But Cinda's getting the first right back straight away to trade. Replan trying to get in, and he does manage to get Zlatan. So it's a 2 versus 2, so 1-to-1 trades on both sides. As Endpoint are running out of time.
Coming down to the wire, and they're trying to spray it. Kind of similar situation to last time. Dax is going to run through, and he does get it. Cinda cleans it up, but he's not going to be able to get this defuse.
These rounds are getting very, very close. It's down to these 1 versus 1s every single time, but at the moment, London Esports able to step it up just a little bit more.
It's been a plan every round. So London are not worried about their money, are they?
They not worried about that money too much. As you can see, they're still able to buy the nades, which they need smokes, scope. But that's the thing. If they lose just 1 more round, they're broke again.
Right.
And it's always a risk that you have to play on this map.
Reflex are looking for some type of spray through the smoke, and it's not going to come out as London is putting a lot of pressure over here towards B. The nades came out and delaying them from getting the site, and this is what's so hard on the Axis side. If they throw those set nades, you can't even get there, and they've kind of already forfeit the site. Maybe a bit of a bad smoke there in the doorway as Max Strafe is trying to wall bang it and does find the kill on the Reflexer. Must have known he was there. Secret is smoked off as well. Replan going to try to get up top and get into this little arch position. Not sure if he made the jump or not. He
did
is.
Make it. That's very hard to do, especially when you can't even see where you're jumping. Now he's in this position. He's going to try and get 1 play, but now his position is known. But he still managed to get Zlatan before he gets taken out by Max Strafe.
Yeah, not able to make it out with his life there. And Fake thinking about now, thinks there's going to be a flank. He does have a smoke here. May want to just throw it so London Esports don't pick it up. If he does go down, does get the first gunfight. Uzuma goes down with a headshot.
London now playing a little bit more passive. They don't want to lose any more players, and Delita just holding the angle, getting that frag, and now it's 3-1 to London. And that was an eco from Endpoint. Luckily, London only lost 2 players, so they didn't lose too much economy, and now we should be seeing Endpoint just buy what they want, buy the nades that they need to, slow down that B approach, maybe get a frag onto one of the players throwing nades, because, of course, that is very dangerous, throwing nades on top of a car.
Yeah. We haven't seen Mark go flank all the way through A. He's kind of been playing it a little passively, and so when those gunfights occur, they're already basically on A site. So maybe you want to see him get a little more aggressive up that kind of side hallway, but Reflexer maybe gonna... Oh, I thought he was gonna push through Azuma with the kind of delayed nade. Fake goes down. And they smoked off B. It looks like they're gonna try to work A.
But Reflexer is in connected position, already taking down Zlatan. And that might be a telltale sign that they might want to go towards it. You got 2 players towards that A statue, just holding it. One towards mud. It's going to be difficult for London to try and get on this, but if they can get that mud player, they'll just have the church for free.
Nate does come out and takes Reflexer relatively low. The leader with the scope can't quite find that. Quickscope's still looking for it, and a little risky there to shoulder peek that, but just getting the info as to if they're coming or not. And it looks like Endpoint do need to be careful as the bomb is working back. They still have a lot of time. 50 seconds on the clock now, ticking as they run back B. Taking it very slowly here is London Esports.
Thing is, that fake towards A did not work since the two players on the B side haven't moved an inch. Both still holding their angles, and the lack of utility from London. Only 2 smokes. It's going to be difficult, but 2 smokes actually could be enough. They can smoke off the big arch, but they won't expect Replan in this position on top right. He was here yesterday.
Might be spotted out from heaven if he's not careful. No, knows someone's there, listens to it, and jumps. Was not actually spotted, so up to him to make this play. Azuma gets the kill onto Mark, and he goes down through the smoke, not able to pick up that kill. Cinda wasn't able to make it out either, so now London are in a 4v2. Endpoint not looking too hot here. Reflexer trying to walk through. Daxton picks him up, and Cinda just trying to spray. Takes Max a little low, but this is London's round once again.
Yeah, London looking very, very hot now. They signed to get a little bit more economy, the weapons that they need, and they're just putting a lot of pressure on Team Endpoint. And Endpoint looking a little bit slow, but this is how Endpoint always play. Like you see in most of their games, they start off very slow. And the reason why that is because they're just figuring out their opponents and then adapting on the fly. And it's normally very good to see. And it's normally around this mark that they're going to start adapting.
Right. I was going to say, we usually see them go down pretty early and then just start stringing them together. But London looks really good. They're playing as a team. As you were saying, Endpoint, they did read that. They had the 2 players there. And Replan just sadly couldn't get the kill on that heaven position. And I think Fake or Cindo went down as well. So another good round from London. Need to just keep their head down and keep doing what they're doing. Obviously, it's good to be in a 4-1 lead, but you really just want to run that up. You want to pound them into the ground once you have that advantage. And with that advantage comes a disadvantage for the economy of Endpoint. We see 4 MP40s and only 1 nade. Replan able to buy up on the car again, but wasn't able to get it done with it last time.
Yeah, he missed that shot onto Max Strafe, which Max is probably happy about. He gets that free kill, and he was a little bit annoyed that Replan had his number in his back pocket, but London able to get on site quite easily.
Yeah, they kind of forfeited. Endpoint is playing on the other side, and they're going to maybe play for a retake through mid. The leader's the only one there with the scope, so if they can take him out and potentially get that weapon, then it'll be good for them. Replan back in his spot up on this little chain fence. I don't know what to call it. He's like the only person I've seen play here. The leader on the other side is just cleaning up this flank left and right, maybe able to peek back around and kill Reflexer, but doesn't need to as Azuma is there. Replan needs to just get out of here and save this car.
Yeah, low investment on that car, and he was unable to get anything done. The smokes proved quite valiant from London, and Endpoint just couldn't get a foothold on that B site. As we will be seeing 5-1 for London Esports, as they do get off on a very, very good start here in the grand finals. And they're looking good.
Yeah, they are. And I was just about to mention, Zlatan's still on an M1. He's been buying nades and smokes, and they're really thinking about their money and thinking about the longevity of this game, making sure not to put too many coins into these rounds. But Azuma up at 11 coins. Replan just fighting to keep 1 gun so the rest of the team can buy. So, yeah, London looking really good. The flank didn't work out. The leader was able to keep his sniper there. So just all-around good play. You would think they need to change something up on B for Endpoint. Maybe that's what this pause is about.
Yeah.
So they're not able to get to site at all. So it's Replan playing from these far back angles, but they're all smoked. He can try to jump on top of them as much as he can, but it's just not going to work.
Yeah, and it's just when you have to play retake on B, it's always going to be difficult to get a foothold. They can't get to cinema to get that cinema control because the nades are slowing them down, and then as soon as they can get there, London's already there waiting for them. And then when they do try and flank, like you saw there with Reflexer, they get shut down straight away because London is also expecting it. London are seem very prepared to what Endpoint are going to do, and that's why Endpoint has to take a timeout, discuss what are they doing, how can we counteract it on this map. And it'll be interesting to see what Endpoint can bring out, because even at this point, I'm struggling to think of what can they do.
Yeah, it's they haven't really changed things up all that much. They're one of these kind of more dynamic teams, and last round they switched it up a little bit by trying to push through that courtyard and maybe find a leader, but it just didn't feel like something that they even thought would work from the start. It was everyone going by themselves. Hey, let's just take our own gunfights. Maybe they could use some type of, smoke through and push through mid or something like that. I have no idea. But they are taking a little bit of a tactical timeout and maybe saying, all right, let's relax. Also, maybe let's slow down London Esports a little bit. But I don't really hear too much screaming. Maybe they're playing a little more reserved, just in their own heads, not freaking out quite yet.
I'm sure after a little while we'll hear London or Endpoint scream, because London, for example, they was here till 3 a.m. So they're probably still waking up, and that's what's surprising about this for me. It's just like they're probably still very tired. I know for a fact Max didn't get any sleep last night, and yeah, they're still playing really well.
And maybe no screaming, because none of these rounds seem to have really been a challenge. There's not too many clutches, and we do see Team Endpoint did finally figure out how to get on B site, and they have 3 players over there. But on the other end, there's 4 across the map. Max Strafe will go down, and the leader here going to try to open up this site. Not going to find anyone in that mud area yet, and we see Mark is just sitting in the back of Church. And this is probably the best spot for him to be playing right now, as there are 3 trying to work their way up. I think that's Latin in the middle of the map, pushing through, maybe going to try to establish some type of mid-control or stop rotates before they come. But Cinda is there with the STG, so going to be an A-take. We'll have to see how delayed it is before Endpoint start rotating, and they are sprinting now onto site. Mark needs to get at least 1 kill here.
Yeah, and he needs to stay alive as long as he can. Maybe try and stop that plant, but he can't get that plant stopped. But he does get that frag, and he's looking for more as he does push on, and he's actually got site control, really.
Yeah, he's got no smokes. Maybe if one of his teammates can get over there. Cinda only with a nade, and Latin is still playing here, making this rotate difficult. Fake's going to peek that angle and is tagged up. They need to kill him so they can go, and he does go down. So now a 5 versus 2 retake. London with their work cut out for them, but they have a nade, and they're playing in a good advantage. They know exactly where the bomb's planted. Mark not quite going down. The leader gets the kill on Fake. Meanwhile, they're just going to swarm out there. P-Diz gets the first kill. Doesn't quite know where he is. Azuma's staying alive for now. I think they are all pushing at the same time. 3 Endpoint guys jumping down the steps, and a much-needed round for them.
Look how much time there was left as well. That was closer than it looked from our perspective.
Yeah. So,
Endpoint running down the time a lot on that bomb.
I mean, smart for them to go together. They don't want to take one-by-one gunfights, because London has been winning them. But that's kind of, they did switch it up a little bit, even though it didn't really come into effect since they were going B. They did wait for all those nades to come out. Then they just smoked everything and ran up through heaven. I'm not sure if it was really seen or not. Max Strafe just had to walk out front, and he was more bait over on A as they took it. So we'll see if Endpoint does that again, as I wouldn't be surprised to see London just go straight back to B, as that was working pretty well for them.
Exactly, and you can see London just playing with their nades a little bit longer than usual. It doesn't catch any players off guard, and Endpoint have managed to get on site, and Azuma's going to know that for sure, as the guy Rub was just jump peeking.
Yeah, not sure if he saw Azuma there. Fake and kind of signature position up here with the SMG in Cinema, and Replan trying to get on the bomb site, and Max Strafe just picks him off. It seems like he's getting these free kills here. Yeah,
and it's especially on Replan. Replan had a very good time, but he's struggling on this map, and he struggled quite a bit on this map last time, just because of all those smokes, and he just couldn't get anything done.
Fake still just holding this upper hallway as his teammate Cinda watches Couch and just tries to hold down the rest of the site. I think that's Latin still walking through mid, and P-Diz getting a little too excited there. Daxon takes him out, and that could be a call that they need to start walking. Reflexer with a good pick onto Slatin, who started to walk through. Max Strafe with another kill in Cinema, and they could come back B if they wanted, because that's another kill, but looks like they're going to try to take A against Reflexer. Needs to find a few kills here to save us, and he won't. Daxon just completely out of view on the left of his screen.
Yeah, good positioning from Daxon for both of those frags. As A site is now clear, only Cinder left alone on the B site, wondering what can I do. I'll just stick with this car and just save. Just try and get as many rounds as they can on the board, and it's going to be the 6th round for London.
A little bit unfortunate for Replan there. Not sure, though, what he was expecting. He was just in the middle of the site. Max Strafe has been up in that spot, I think 90% of these rounds. So goes down and then just loses the gunfight. Fake dies as well. So it's just not working out.
Yeah, and it could be some miscommunication maybe, because of course he had Fake up in top heaven. He obviously didn't hear Max Strafe, so maybe he thought Cinema might be clear, or he might have an angle, and there was a smoke coming in to Cinema. Maybe it was just poor timing.
Cinda is going to make it out of this round alive, and maybe they'll rotate him, or is this something, is Endpoint one of those teams where if someone's not doing well on a site, they'll rotate him out and get someone else in there, or is it just going to be, I don't want to say call Replan off it, but should he stop buying the Bolt there?
I don't actually know because I haven't actually seen Endpoint in this sort of position before. So it'll be interesting for me to see what Endpoint actually going to do. Yeah, and Replan does get a few tokens, and he's only going for the STG. Marks on a Gavere.
Yeah, Cinda does have that Bolt, and just kind of looking. So this is what I was saying earlier. You can kind of look at that angle and see the nades as they come over, call for your teammates, and that's why we haven't seen too many nade kills on B. But they do delay and do their job there, as they are not through couch quite yet. Yeah, they're trying to entry onto site, so not going to commit too much. Max Strafe wins once again against Fake, and he is just deadly with this M1.
Yeah, he's just hitting all his shots at the moment, and that's what I was saying for one of the winning factors that they need. They needed Max Strafe, but Reflex are able to get that trade off. But now London are getting access to the site, and they still got the smokes to block out view. You still got the leader with a smoke.
Yeah, they were able to force Replan off that broken wall and then smoke it, and pretty tactical play here coming out from London, just taking piece by piece of the site. Max Strafe goes down, but he did clear Fake from out of up top, so that whole building's essentially free, and Endpoint just holding angles. Not sure if they're looking to retake this or not.
Yeah, they going very slowly. The time is ticking, and this is just helping London, but that nade kill onto Daxton, that's definitely going to help things as they look to push onto the site together, all four of them. Zlatan trying his best to try and frag out, but each player just falling one by one. It's all up to Deleter. No smokes on Endpoint, so he can just hold his angle, but he will fall thanks to Reflex. So 4 kills from him, single-handedly retaking the site nearly.
Yeah, that was probably one of the most impressive retakes I've seen this tournament. That was they waited for only 20 seconds left. They had quite a few players to kill, and that set nade comes out. I'm not sure where that landed.
It landed in couch, I believe.
Okay.
Because Daxton and Zlatan were both there. Zlatan watching the flank, and Daxton sort of closer watching the site, and then the nade came in, dead, and Reflex are just getting 4 kills.
Yeah, all that time in strat mode finally paying off as the retake nade comes through perfectly. Endpoint with a much-needed win, and London slowing it down a little bit. They're not going to rush straight in. Well, as I say that, Azuma is in there, but they're not going to establish too much presence here, so they will be able to get into Cinema once again. On the other side, they're just kind of waiting, peeking angles and not showing too much. So London playing essentially a very slow default here.
Yeah, they're just looking for picks, but Replan finally chiming in, taking down Max. He had a good start, but last 2 rounds he has been taken out early. As London's still looking just for picks, just seeing what Endpoint are going, as Endpoint's starting to get their strive a little bit.
Yeah, kind of changing things up, or at least starting to come to life as we see Replan get that headshot. I think that was in mid, and not sure if it was on the tank or what, but Max Strafe is down, and he's been one of their entry kind of opening players, at least over on the B site, so not someone you want to lose. And do have a black screen here, and I think it might have been our game, so the players may still be in there. Just got kicked out of spectator for a little bit. If you just give us a moment here.
Yeah, it's quite interesting to see what happened there. We just gone.
It's a good thing. I think it's just on this end. It doesn't look like any of the players have disconnected, and we don't want to interrupt the players at all. A lot of money on the line.
Exactly, a lot of money on the line, and for London, this is their chance. You know, Endpoint are the champions, and they already lost to Endpoint, and now they have a good strive on Derailed. They want to just try and keep that going, try and close out this map, so it's now going to be 1-1, but still got a lot of the map to go, and I'm kind of sad that we're missing out on the action.
Yeah, I know. That was going to be a good round. It was kind of shaping up there. London really slowing it down, and that seems to be the thing. A lot of these teams, once they lose rounds back-to-back, they just kind of, you know, slow it down completely, and they just play. Yeah. Do you think that's something that London benefits from? Because I think the slower they play, kind of the better that Endpoint is. I feel like the longer the rounds go, Endpoint is more confident, or the longer this series go, the more I'm favoring them. We saw they waited and have waited so long for just any type of play to happen, honestly. Like on that retake, they waited until there was 20 seconds left. That's scary.
That is scary. I would be scared to have that happen to me. Like, if I have a teammate and we're not retaking until 20 seconds left on the clock on the bomb,
Yeah.
I'll just call save.
I wasn't sure if they were going to save or not. You saw on the minimap, we saw one person with a nade pull. I didn't know if it was a smoke or where it was going to land, but that comes through, and then Reflexer just comes out with that STG and wins every gunfight. And that's something, don't want to bring tilt into it because it's the first game, but I would be upset if I was London. That should be a free round.
That should have been a free round. They had control of the site, and I felt like some of the positions could have been better. 2 people couch. A little bit questionable. I would add more people in cinema, because then you can have the heaven, then you can have bomb, and then it's just more angles for Endpoint to have to peek at, as well as the fact that you have the bomb planted for cinema. Just having one guy top cinema, maybe not your scope player.
Yeah.
Maybe someone which has a Grand or a carbine, because then they can just get multiple shots off, take the person off the bomb or kill the person off the bomb. Whereas the scope player, if there's 4 people in front of him, he's going to have a little bit struggle to get that frag. But
yeah, Deleter did his best up there, but as we've seen, especially on the retakes, Endpoint will just jump out as 5 players together and completely overwhelm you. There's nothing you can really even do with an STG or a Grand. So just a really good retake, and interested to see once we do get back. I think we are reconnecting here in just a moment to see where the score's gone. I think it was London up 6-3 over Endpoint, and I was favoring Endpoint in that round, honestly. As I was saying, I think the longer it goes, I think as London starts to slow down, they, it's not going to be all that good for them. But, exactly.
Yeah, they did win the round.
And a timeout comes through for London, I believe. So.
No, for us.
Oh, for us?
Yeah, to get back in.
Oh, that's very kind of them.
Yeah. Happened yesterday as well, I believe. And I think it was actually a London versus Leisure game as well.
Well, very sweet of them to do that on our behalf. And as we were saying, Endpoint are kind of climbing their way back. It's one of those situations that we've seen time and time again. Once they start losing the rounds and get an idea of what the other team's doing, they can adapt. That's kind of the name of their gameplay, and that's exactly what happened.
And we should be getting underway very soon as Endpoint's got the green light to go. And looking at the weapons and the utility on Endpoint, they looking very healthy. 2 cars I see there, as well as a scope car. Ooh, that's dangerous.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming maybe they bought. I'm trying to think what's happened in these 2 rounds. They are completely rich. Full sets and nades. If we check the scoreboard here, I want to see if Reflexer's up on 20 kills left yet. But no, they're just across the board. Replan, Cinda, and Reflex are all showing up. And on the other end, London, as we've seen, they all stay so close together in the amount of frags they have. And it's just the way they play.
Yeah, it's just the way they play. They play very tight-knit. They play on buddy system quite a bit. You see 2 people peeking most of the time. And then you might have just one person, which is normally Max, who goes off. But 2 nade kills right off the bat. And yesterday we talked about how good they are at dodging these nades, but today they're not, as Fake also gets a 2K, just leaving one guy, Zlatan, alone. And
Endpoint turning it on a little bit here.
Yeah.
Those 2 nades, they weren't anything special. They were just regular mid-nades, and that's why you have to throw them every round in case London Esports tries something like that, just to kind of sprint straight across, and it does not work out. So an easy round for Endpoint. London maybe just throwing in the towel on that first half. They're going to regroup here, and this is where they played strong. It was Deleter and Daxton, I believe, on the B site who would just shut down any type of pressure every single time.
So they was able to get into Couch very early on and just take them out. Or when they delayed them, they just went on site and just killed them straight off the bat. They was just hitting their shots. And if they can do that today, that'll bring them across the line for sure.
Yeah, they would just play behind that car and win their gunfights. And they do team together with that kill on Reflexer, but he was kind of the bait over on that B sides, as it looks like they may try to come out A. Cinda not sure he's going to check this close angle, and he does just as Latin's looking away, and they're going to flood onto this site. Azuma is still alive, and Max Strafe actually kills Replan, who was trying to maybe shoulder peek, but got out a little too far. Bomb is now being planted. Azuma's not going to show himself. Max almost goes down, trying to stay alive, re-peeks, it almost gets fake, but he will not. Now a 3v3. Max Strafe does get the kill and is taken down to just a sliver of health. Mark gets the kill onto the leader as well, so a 2v2. Mark going all the way around and needs to get on site to help Fake, as they may start to push him in just a bit, but not happening yet. They do spot that Mark's over by the tank, and with that, they're going to decide to go straight onto site. The smoke does come out, and it looks like he's actually going to stick it. They need to stop this plant. Mark's being a little too late, and they should get this.
London with the massive retake. Daxon getting a nice free kill in total. Max also getting 2, and Max ballsy play, just running and smoking the bomb and just sticking in. Daxon coming in straight away. What a great round.
You could see something
London.
clicked in Max Strafe's head. He was walking up mud, and as soon as he heard that Mark was shooting at him from tank, throws the smoke, sticks the bomb, and trusts that Daxon will find those frags, and he certainly does. 3 kills for him on the round, and London Esports coming up strong in the first round, and now going to have all their set nades. We have MP40s, and the mid nades do come out. Reflex are actually able to beat them, and we'll get into cinema, so they will have a chance here. Mark with a Thompson, and the nade kill comes out from Cinda as well, so this site is open. Endpoint are just going to run straight there and get the plant. We don't see any retake nades coming out, and not even an upgrade on Max Strafe, so this is a good round for Endpoint so far. Going to have to do something special here if you are London Esports, if you want to retake, but there's not utility, and it's just not the same situation that Endpoint was in where they could retake as a group. Fake and Reflex are teamed together for that kill. Azuma going to try to come through and at least find one, but it feels like maybe he just want to back up and save at this point. It's a 2v5.
Yeah, you should just save at this point. There's no point just losing this weapon, as you already put some investment into it. Some of you still haven't bought. You saw Max still having 3 coins, so he can still buy. And then you've got Daxton and Deleter just not having any, and Zlatan really needs to survive in that fight.
Ooh. And they both go down, not even able to save on that round. So really, really big from Endpoint. They're not going to let this economy start to go for London, and it wasn't a full buy, but it was it was essentially MP40s and nades across the board. They were donating to each other. Max Strafe did an upgrade but couldn't find the frags, so they do not have that much money. I wouldn't be surprised to just see them maybe sink 1 coin each, but it doesn't even look like that. Max Strafe the only one with a Gewehr and 2 smokes across the board, so maybe going to stack something, and it looks like that's exactly what it's going to be. They're all going to go over towards this B site, and I think Endpoint should be able to identify this pretty easily.
Yeah, as soon as they start peeking the site, they will get that information. But straight up here, beating Max Strafe, killing him right off the bat.
Daxon low as well. I said they may be able to identify it, but they might not even need to. They might just be able to win their gunfights with these better guns. Fake, not sure if he's going to see through this smoke first, and he does not. Dax with an important kill onto him. Looks like he's looking for the second, can't quite find it. Azuma is there to team up with him, and Replan maybe going to just try to run straight back to A, and he is. Reflex is going to try to exit site as well.
But look, 2 people coming from top cinema.
Definitely trying to bait it out, and I think he knows. He's kind of used to this lurk position and knows that once he makes that noise, maybe he'll go, but just looking the wrong way. Is Latin too smart for him? Will now have an MP40, but this bomb is going down on A. Definitely a doable retake here, a 3v2.
Yeah, if they buddy up together, and if Azuma can get this first frag off on Replan, it is definitely doable.
Replan getting very aggressive in the position that he's holding here, and they're not going to expect it. Should get at least one. He gets the +10, looking for the third, and can't quite find it. Azuma low, send it there, and does get the kill. Almost a +15 for Replan, and kind of an off angle, holding very far up. But they know that there's 3 players. They know they stacked it, so he can afford to play like that.
Yeah, and it was very aggressive. I expected maybe London would check at least, have one guy looking towards Mud. But they just walked out, and Replan able to get 2 quick kills, even taking Azuma low so Cinder could finish him off, just going round. And again, a very good round coming in from Endpoint. Little already separating these 2 teams.
Yeah, it wasn't Eco.
Yeah, that was an Eco.
Max Strafe winning an important fight onto Fake there over towards Alt A, and maybe going to try to go through the smoke here. Latin, the leader, playing in this couch position on B, and they're doubled up across the map for London Esports.
They're going to try and make sure that they have a more advantageous position, and great teamwork there. Deleter getting the tag, and Zlatan just getting the ultimate frag, and now 4 versus 3. Reflex and in heaven with a scope. It's going to be dangerous for London.
And I don't think they're going to show for him. They're just going to shut this down, and they'll turn if they hear the bomb plant, and time is ticking, so they Endpoint need to figure something out. Not sure if it was identified that Reflex is up there with the scope, and Repline has the scope of his own as they're going to try to entry onto A, and they just need to go. They need to pick a site and go to it, and it looks like that's exactly what's going to happen. Repline going to bring the bomb up the back. Azuma does not have a long-range weapon, so if they stay back on Church, they should be good. Zlatan still, once again, getting that kill on Reflexer as he tries to exit off.
Yeah, Reflex having a tough time to flank as London seems to expect it every single time, but 4 versus 2 on the retake. London are just preparing, making sure that they got the souls ready to push on the site when it ultimately comes. And with Sinden, I think, no, it's actually Replan in Alter Room. It's going to be tough for him to do anything, especially since he's smoked out. He's only got a scope to use, and nothing he can really do in this position.
Yeah, I don't know if he's just gonna save his gun. He threw a nade there on the defuse, but it just goes down, and maybe they're gonna be confused. The smoke should fade in just a minute, and if Replan saves his gun, not able to, and dies. Interesting play, and
yeah,
doesn't actually get the money after that round since he did die after time.
Yeah, that's an important thing. He died with scope and died after time. It might have been just better for him to just run out and die.
Yeah, did have his pistol out, so they're not able to get it. But Zlatan has the scope of his own, and London Esports finally on a solid buy. They have all the utility they could use. Zlatan with the scope and can maybe change up how he's doing things. And Team Endpoint need to, I don't know, maybe go a little bit quicker. Or I don't know what they can do on that post plant. They just lost too many lives, and London had a good retake. Max Strafe gonna maybe walk through the smoke here. Yeah, he does get the kill onto Replan, and he does make it back out alive. It's a really good play coming out from him. Cinda takes him a little bit low with the Thompson. It's going to be hard to find. Should finish up the kill, and he does. Cinda sitting up at 14 and 5 here early on in the day.
Yeah, and that's quite surprising. You don't expect Cinda to be the heavy hitter, but he's trying to do the best he can.
Yeah, more in that support role, but is coming to life here as Reflexer is trying to come out on site. Everyone's just holding these tight angles. Azuma needs to finish off this kill. Doesn't know that there's 2 there, and now in a little bit of trouble as they try to close in on him. Can't quite find it, and that's important. They don't let him get anything. Reflexer was able to finally come out and find Daxton, so a little bit of a scramble here as Zlatan can't pick up that shot.
Yeah, now 2 versus 4 situation. The tables have turned in favor of Endpoint. He doesn't expect to play on the floor. Reflex, and it's all up to Delita to try and do something. And he is rotating right in time as Endpoint's running past, and he shoots and he misses all his shots as Fake will take him down. Now Endpoint are in the lead.
Yeah, just a little too aggressive there, maybe from London Esports. We saw Max Strafe did get 1 kill, but Cinda was able to chase him down, and then Zlatan trying to peek, and I can understand why they would, because Endpoint just isn't really doing anything. They 30 seconds, and then they start making their move, so it's frustrating to play against, but London just need to remember that they have won. They have won on this map, so
yeah,
just sit still, play your game, and you should be able to get some more rounds back. But a shoddy buy as it's 5 MP40s. They haven't really had any rifles on this side.
No, they haven't had the economy to do it because they had to focus more on nades, and MP40s were allowed to get a little bit close and dangerous against this Endpoint lineup. But Mark on the floor able to do some damage. Reflex also chiming in, so now 2 souls of down, and Mark getting another kill. London just falling 1 by 1. And they're sort of burning right now.
Yeah, Max Strafe was able to get the kill onto Mark, but they just were outgunning them on the site. The nades prevented them from getting there too quickly, and it's just not the same thing that we saw London Esports do on the first time they played this map. Even if they were delayed to site, Daxton and Deleter were teaming together with those MP40s and with those Thompsons they'd pick up, and they just win the gunfights, and it is just not happening here.
And now getting into the 19th round. They are on even weaker buy than previous, just 2 smokes and 1 Gaffair on Max Strafe. Be interesting to see what they pull off. They seem like they got something in mind.
Yeah, maybe a mid
all
stack.
5 of them pushing down mid.
And they need to change something up, and that's something that may possibly catch them off guard. Maybe they can get bombed down if they're careful. Replan knows that it's coming, though. He's identified it, trying to make it 3, and he does. I don't think they know that there's one more there. Someone has shot. Zlatan on the other side of the map does get the kill on the Sim, so he should have a gun now. Actually, not sure he is able to pick it up.
Yeah, he's in a dangerous position. He wants to pick it up, and he does eventually. And there's a Thompson, which he can now use. And looks like he just wants to save maybe 4 people in front. Maybe Azuma can try something.
Replan seems like he's on now with that M1. You saw him just tapping through mid, and Picks up 3 kills, looking to make it 4 if Azuma does pick. Latin just playing for his life here over on A side. Doesn't want to lose his Thompson that he fought so hard for, and not a great eco. They only got the 1 kill, and Zlatan's able to upgrade, but they tried to change things up. It just didn't quite work out. Maybe if they had another smoke, but that's the point of an eco. Don't spend money and try to steal around. It just wasn't coming together for him.
Yeah, and it's coming into dangerous territory as Team Endpoint now going to be on 11th, just 1 away from map point, and increasing the lead, which they already have an advantage on. And this is London's pick.
Yeah, a little scary for them. They came out pretty strong, and then what you pointed out is this is what happens with Endpoint. They look like they were struggling for a bit there, but no, you don't move Replan off site. You just kind of keep playing and keep doing Endpoint things, and it'll work out. And they are now up 11-8 here in the first map, and they're feeling good. If they win this, they're only 1 game away from that first place spot, which I know they're fighting for. London need to do something, or maybe in their break. If I think did they already take their timeout?
They've already taken a timeout, I believe, and that was in the first half.
Or was that Endpoint? Doesn't matter. They just need to do something different, and Max Strafe is going to do that by getting that opening kill onto Replan. Zlatan's going to get up top. Reflexer has been winning these gunfights, and smart move. Zlatan just kind of falls off. Actually baits it out and is still up here. A very hard gunfight to take and scary, but he gets the kill onto Deleter. Is traded out by Daxton, so they are keeping control of this B site for now. But Fake just runs straight through Couch, and just not enough bodies over here. They're dropping, so they can't cover each other's angles that they normally would be. Max Strafe is going to run through, and I was going to say Daxton should go through mid. Does see 1 player, and he was not spotted out, as the bomb might come back as well. Hasn't quite committed to site yet.
Smoke failing from Max, but he's still able to drop the bomb, and it's all up to Reflexer, as he will be able to get 1 frag. And he's hiding in the smoke as Azuma and Daxton both rotate from different angles. This could either work in favor for them if they peek at the same time, or work against them if they peek 1 at a time, giving Reflexer 1 versus 1s, which you do not want to do.
No, and it looks like they're just maybe going to wait until any type of noise comes out on that bomb. He does have a smoke, so maybe he can smoke it and play in a little bit of an off angle, but they're doing this very smart. They don't want to really give him anything. And he should be able to get this bomb down. Good win. They do take the gunfight together, and see Daxton stand still there for a little bit. I heard some claps over there, so some let's go, and we'll get back in this. London with an important round and stops us from going to map point. But Endpoint just have so much money saved. Reflex are on 12 coins. Only with 1 kill, so I think he was max wallet before the last round. Or someone was. I saw 14 somewhere here.
Wow, Endpoint's just looking quite comfortable. Even when they lost that round, it was a close round. And in fact, this whole, most of these rounds have been close. No one really outbeating their opponents. Only a few rounds from Endpoint, and still only a few rounds from London, which they outbeat their opponents. And mid-nade's not going to catch anyone off guard, as London also waiting for the B-nades as they try and take control.
Yeah, they don't go down, and I believe that's Reflexer over there, as he has been, just kind of making noise while the rest of his team tries to work over towards A. Good move there. Fake does not go down, so they at least know there's 1 there. Going to be up to Zlatan here. He might get a little bit too aggressive, or not sure if he's going to push it, or if he can just stay here, he should be able to get at least 1 kill unless they peek together. Gets the first, tries to back off, and doesn't quite, so send it there to trade it off, but they're not even going to really go off that pick. London looked like they wanted to rotate as well, but they're not quite going to do that either. So Cinda, a little jumpy, shoots at his teammate for a bit.
And that might be a telltale sign that it is going to be A. Azuma in an off angle in the corner. And if he peeks at the right time, he could potentially catch a player off guard. It's all about timing.
From the way Cinda's playing, it looks like he may peek it, but not positive. Fake gets the kill onto Max Strafe, and Cinda actually does get it. Azuma just looks away for a second and goes down, and it looks like he's going to do the plant against the wall here. Not going to opt to plant behind the little bench there. Don't know what to call it.
Altar?
Yeah, I guess. The leader does get his first headshot, looking for anything here, but Endpoint's not going to give it to him, taking it to map point up 12-9.
Yeah, London seems to ran out of gas, and Endpoint's just figured them out. And it's a typical Endpoint move. You start out slow, and then you figure your opponents off, and you adapt so well. And that's what makes them champions. They're just so good at adapting to their opponents mid-round. And even if they're losing 4-1, 5-1 in a game, like they was in this, they'll just turn things over, and they're winning 12-9.
Yeah, just not a lot of things going wrong. One of them, and one of the reasons they had success on that first map, obviously their strats were good, but they were just winning their gunfights.
Yeah.
Zuma was tearing through people, and it just doesn't seem like that's really happening in this game. But first game of the day, maybe they'll wake up a little bit after it here, but this game is far from over. They are still, you know, they have like enough of a buy. They used their utilities, so they weren't able to get into B quickly. And just as I said, something needs to change up. They're going to get very aggressive and push through Cinema relatively quickly, and Replan may go down because of that. The leader just going to walk the whole way and doesn't want to make a single sound, so he's going to have to get this kill. And he does. Replan goes down, which means Bomb goes down. And Max Strafe on the other edge gets his kill with the MP40. So just like that, London do turn it around, and P, Diz, and Fake stuck not in the best spot. Mark just knows where he's going to be and gets the kill anyways.
They do manage to pick up bombs, so they will be planning, but Suma's right on the bat, hunting for these two players. But that smoke's actually really, really good. Blocking complete his view.
Oh, Mark's able to get back on site and gets the knife. He is traded off, but doing the most he can here. Fake's still alive, trying to stay up and just find any gunfights he can take, takes him very low, and not going to chase. Gets the kill onto Dax, and so now left alone in a 1v1 is Zlatan. Fake just wants to get off this map, holds the angle with the STG, takes him low, and time is ticking. Zlatan with a lot of work cut out for him. 20 seconds left, needs to get this kill.